Africa, a continent that has, for millions of years, perfected the art of the extraordinary. From the thundering herds of the Serengeti to the silent stalking of leopards in the tall grass, this land breeds legends. But there is one creature walking these plains today that doesn't quite fit the mold. It doesn't dive from the sky. It doesn't leap from the shadows. It walks. Calmly, methodically, almost arrogantly, as if it owns every square inch of ground beneath its feet. And it has been doing so, in one form or another, for longer than most animals alive today have even existed. Meet Sagittarius serpentarius, the secretary bird, a raptor unlike any other on Earth. At first glance, the secretary bird looks almost assembled from spare parts, as if nature was feeling experimental the day it drew up the blueprint. Stand one in front of you, and you'll see the body of a hawk, the legs of a crane, the face of a vulture, and a headdress that belongs on a stage in ancient Egypt. Those dramatic black crest feathers fan out from the back of the skull like quill pens forgotten behind an ear. The face is bare skin, vivid orange-red, framed by pale feathers that give it the look of something ancient and deliberate. It is one of the most visually arresting animals alive. And yet, underneath that theatrical exterior is one of the most effective killing machines the grasslands have ever produced. The secretary bird stands roughly 4 feet tall. Its wingspan stretches to nearly 2 meters. It weighs between 2 and 4 kilograms, one of the largest birds of prey on the continent, that routinely operates on foot rather than wing. And those legs, those impossibly long, scale-covered legs, are not just for show. They are weapons. Thick, blunt-taloned, and driven by muscle that can generate force most animals their size simply cannot match. Every part of this bird has been shaped by millions of years of walking, hunting, and surviving on the open African plain. Unlike eagles or falcons, built around the aerial ambush, the secretary bird hunts almost entirely on foot. It covers extraordinary distances daily, often walking 10 to 30 kilometers across the savannah in a single day, head bobbing with each stride like a metronome, keeping slow, patient time. It will eat almost anything it can overpower: grasshoppers, lizards, small mammals, frogs, young tortoises, and, perhaps most famously, snakes, including venomous ones. The bird's approach is not reckless, it is surgical. Wings spread wide serve as a shield, a distraction, a visual decoy. The snake doesn't know where to look. It strikes once, twice, and the bird sidesteps with almost casual precision, those long legs carrying it clear of the fangs in a fraction of a second. The bird circles. It waits. And then, it stomps harder than you can imagine. Scientists have measured the force of a secretary bird's kick and found it generates roughly 5 times the bird's own body weight in striking force, delivered in approximately 15 milliseconds. 15! That is faster than the blink of a human eye. Faster than the snake's nervous system can register the threat and send a signal to its fangs. In that moment, the secretary bird is not a bird. It is a piston, a biological hammer strike. The snake doesn't suffer long. And just like that, one of the most venomous snakes in Africa is lunch. Secretary birds are monogamous, pairing for life, building and maintaining nests that become generational structures, added to year after year, some growing to enormous size, perched high in the flat canopy of acacia trees. A nest used over many seasons can stretch 2 meters wide. Both parents incubate the eggs, Both parents feed the chicks. The parents swallow prey whole in the field, carry it back, stored in their crop, and regurgitate a semi-digested slurry for the young. Efficient, practical, brutally effective. The chicks fledge at around 70 to 80 days, but the lessons of the hunt take considerably longer to learn. Courtship, too, is worth witnessing. Pairs rise high into the sky together, soaring in wide, lazy loops, calling out with deep, hollow, croaking sounds that seem almost absurd coming from something so visually regal. On the ground, they chase each other through the grass, with wings spread and heads low, a synchronized performance that looks almost choreographed. This is a bird that commits fully to everything it does. Not in hunting, not in partnership, not in anything. The name itself is somewhat debated. The most popular theory is that those long, dark crest feathers reminded 19th century European observers of the quill pins that clerks and secretaries would tuck behind their ears. Another theory holds that the name derives from the Arabic saku et ter, hunter bird. Both feel fitting for something simultaneously glamorous and deadly. A bird that looks like it belongs behind a writing desk and kills like it belongs on a battlefield. And yet, for all its power, the secretary bird is in serious trouble. It was classified as endangered on the IUCN Red List in 2020, downlisted from vulnerable, meaning things had gotten worse, not better. Population surveys suggest numbers have declined by as much as 50 to 70% across parts of its range. For a bird that has survived virtually unchanged for millions of years, this is a stunning reversal. The trajectory is alarming. The primary threat is habitat loss. Secretary birds need open, unbroken grassland to hunt. When that land is converted to farmland, suburban development, or overgrazed into bare, compacted earth, the secretary bird loses everything. It cannot adapt to forest. It cannot pivot to dense scrubland. It needs the open plain, and the open plain is disappearing. Poisoning, both deliberate and accidental, claims significant numbers too. Farmers put out poison for rodents and jackals, and secretary birds consume the carcasses without knowing the danger. And the bird's low reproductive rate, rarely more than 2 or 3 chicks a year, with significant juvenile mortality, means that once a population begins to decline, reversing that slide takes a very long time. There is one more vulnerability worth noting. For all its dominance on the ground, in the trees, the secretary bird is awkward. Those long legs, such an asset on the Savannah, become a liability in the branches. Getting in and out of the nest requires an ungainly negotiation of wings and limbs that looks nothing like the fluid, assured hunter of the open grass. The bird belongs to the ground. The trees are just a place to sleep. And in those quiet, roosting moments, this ancient, fearsome thing becomes something unexpectedly fragile. A reminder that even the most formidable creatures have a place where the armor doesn't reach. The secretary bird has walked these grasslands for a very long time. Fossil records suggest birds of this lineage have existed for nearly 60 million years. They outlasted the shifts of continents, the changes of climate, the rise and fall of countless other species. They appear on the coat of arms of both Sudan and South Africa, symbols of freedom and vigilance. They have watched human civilizations rise and fall from these same open plains. They have outlasted empires. And now the question is simple. Will we return the favor? It is magnificent. It is endangered. It is irreplaceable. And whether it is still walking these plains 50 years from now is a question that we, not nature, not evolution, not time, will answer. Walk on.